What's up? This is David from the group New Politics. You are watching Backstage. To some degree, nothing's changed, which is really strange to say. But like, once we get together on the road, in the studio, it's just like riding a bike. But so much has changed. You know, we've gone from major labels to independent publishing to like running our own thing. You know, we've been through the ringer. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ringer, and somehow managed to stay relevant and stay, you know, continue to put music out, stay creative. And I think that's, like, in that sense, nothing has changed, but everything has changed, if that makes sense. Like, we've experienced everything and gone through ups and downs and this and that, but the creative and, like, what we stand for and the joy and the fire that we have for this gift of music that we're so blessed with, I think that has almost gotten stronger in a sense.
I think that it's important, you know, and it's really difficult, to be honest. I think most bands would find that really difficult to switch it up or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that we have never really been the band who's trying to chase radio, you know, but I do think that we are inspired by the time that we live in, and we're all music lovers, and I think that the difference between the music that the three of us listen to also creates records that sound different. But if you're not, you know, if you've stopped paying attention to your surroundings, then I also think that you stop growing. And we have felt that sometimes, and then we come out with a record and nobody else felt that, but sometimes we also felt that we've taken a really big step, but in the end it wasn't that big. And I think it's a tricky thing to navigate in general, that everything, it's never as complicated as it seems, but if you manage somehow to take some of those big steps, at least for you, big steps, it feels really good afterwards, and you have something to be proud of. Doesn't matter if it's music or not. It's just a human creative thing.
It's also never not scary, you know, which is always I think is a good way to stay on top of you know, stay relevant and stay new to everything. You know, you always have to challenge yourself, and I think we've been really good at that, you know, as far as the writing and as far as this. But you know, also you have people, you know, we're just human beings, so like real life happens behind the music. So, you know, I'm just got married. David's has a baby now. You know, so all of that sort's a new homeowner.
I have a vegetable garden. Hi guys.
But like these things happen, and that also influences the music and the writing and everything too. You know, so but we adapt to all of that, which is what I think is one of our strongest, you know, attributes as a band.
We are the kids.
I think with art in general, you have a different sense of rules and authority, because to be able to do art, that's why we all do it, or a big part of it. We can go in our room and we don't have to have nobody telling us anything. We can do what we want to do and just be creative. So I feel like that also keeps you young. Like art keeps you young. Us being able to express ourselves in the most outrageous ways, or in the most fictional ways, or in a sense of whatever expression it is. Also, that's that's like a gift that you have as a child, or a youth, or
because at the end of the day, what we do, we love what we do. Obviously, this is our but at the end of the day, like our job is to make people jump up and down, smile, and that's the best job ever, like for us, like that. And so I feel like what you're saying is that there just is no, we get to be as young as we want for as long as we want, and also, but at the same time being serious and taking our music seriously.
I mean, also physically, I'm 65,
Honestly, I think that we are these people. Like we've always been. This is a little culturally political and all that, but I think you see a lot of times somebody who's worked their whole life, and as soon as they retire, they get old like that. And I think that's like being an artist it's something that is within everybody. We were just dumb enough, or whatever it was. In this case, lucky enough that something happened, and we actually made a career out of it. But being truthful to who you are and staying and playing, young as much as you can, also makes you a young soul. And our culture, I think, is a lot of times there's a lot of dreams and hopes that deep down everybody wants to live them out. And I think that we are crazy because we tried, and now we're here, so we're very lucky too. But it is crazy. It is wild, there's so much opportunity to do stuff outside of the box. But at the same time, whenever you are out there, it feels awesome, but it's scary.
I've been dreaming about you in my bed.
The idea of content has changed drastically. Right. The idea of people can create a gigantic career in a matter of 3 years, I feel, in certain ways, but it's just as quickly gone. I think there's advantages and disadvantages, at least from when we started to now, but that's also part of life. That's regardless if you're in the music industry or not. I mean, if you're in a relationship, things change and you constantly are challenged with things. So it's the same thing. It's just how much passion and fire do you have for what you do? Where is that honesty and rawness? And, again, going back to the child mind, I think, No.
Stay. Listen to your intuition. Your gut feeling is the closest thing, in my opinion, that you'll get to something truly special. That's the only thing you can trust. And to be honest with you, I think when I met David in Denmark a long time ago, he was always very good at that, and that was inspiring for me. And then I think we inspired each other, met Lewis, and we keep inspiring.
Lewis still hasn't inspired us.
Yeah. No, I'm like the opposite. I'm uninspiring.
He's dragging us down, but we're so inspired and smart.
But he's such a good drummer, and we're such horrible musicians that it's
blob.
No, Cern's absolutely right. I feel like the reason why we called the record an invitation to an alternate reality is because we live also in a day and age where there's so much going on, and there's so many opinions and voices which I feel are important. Everyone should be able to speak their voice and opinion, because that's a sense of expression, and it will lead to something. It doesn't matter, especially if it's right or wrong, or you think it's right or wrong, but I feel it's important it's voiced, because that leads to something. It pushes things. And I think we live in a day and age where it's also very dangerous. You know, the line to what that means is very dangerous, and I'm not sure we figured it out yet as a society, because technology has given us this powerful tool to do that, and I feel it also shakes a lot of issues, and it shakes a lot of mental issues. It shakes up a lot of stuff, and I feel like with this record, we wanted a place where anyone could like voice their opinion or express themselves or put on headphones and escape or relate to something or make sense of something that they're going through. And I feel that like tunes in with what we've gone through with the band, going off of major labels, you know, starting our own sort of thing independently, and like rekindling this fire that we have for the art that we do. And I feel this is like our voice, and this record represents a new chapter in our band, and it's a sense of hopefulness.
I think most artists can relate to, you start writing a record, you go in with it, you start, yes, we're gonna write some hits, and then, literally like that, and then after a little while you're like, well, we're just writing the same songs we've done for a long time. Then the next phase is, let's do something weird and crazy, and that's where you start letting go, and all of a sudden
You're back to where you started.
Yeah, and without thinking, and you start getting songs that make sense. We have never written a record that didn't happen like that, and we were really fortunate to work with John Feldman, who's an amazing producer, and he was just, you know, really open-minded and just open to the idea that, hey, you know what? Let's try that. Let's go out there. Where I think we would normally have been like, oh, I don't know, is that? But because it was him, and because of just our mindset, and after all these years of us doing this, we just went with it. And I think everybody's super, super proud of it. And you know, it's an amazing feeling. And that really did happen because we had gone through the process first of you just have to break down your walls, and I'm sure everybody can relate to that, even in relationships or whatever it is. You just have to be able to break down these walls, and once you break them down, you have nothing to lose anymore, you have nothing to fear, and that's where stuff starts to happen. And yeah, it's a really cool feeling.
This one's for everyone that said I'm nothing. This one's for my friends, all of you here tonight. So if you don't get what I said, there's no sleep to go, no sleep on. We get out, we get by, yeah, we roll with it. We get down, we got over it. Hey, we're the kings and queens, and we're unlistening. I got fire of presence, we know it's likely to be happening. We might see
Instagram, Facebook, New Politics Music on Instagram, right? New Politics Music, newpoliticsmusic.com, Twitter, Instagram,
Twitter,
Facebook,
New Politics,
Spotify,
Facebook,
everywhere,
New
we're all there.
Politics,
New Politics.
Spotify, iTunes, Pandora.
Just don't Google New Politics
Yeah.
straight up, because some horrible, you know, something that's going on. in the
Something
news.
political.
Yeah,
Which we're not.
You don't need that.
What's up? We're New Politics, and you've been buzzed.